Have you ever felt a small glow inside? It is not a thought. It is not an emotion that comes and goes with the weather of the mind. It is a quiet sense of rightness, a deep and unmovable peace that surfaces for a moment. This feeling may arise when you are watching the sun set when you perform a simple task with your full attention. Some people may call this a sign. Others might label it a fleeting moment of magic. We can give it a name to help us speak of it, but the name is not the thing itself. Let us call it the divine code. It is not a mystery to be solved with the thinking mind, but a presence to be felt in the stillness of your being. This essay is not about learning a complex new system. It is about unlearning the noise that obscures what you already are. The divine code is not something you must acquire or achieve through great effort. It is already within you, an intrinsic part of your consciousness, inseparable from the life that animates your form. The challenge is not to find it, but to become quiet enough to perceive it. It operates beneath the constant chatter of your egoic mind, the voice that judges, the voice that fears, the voice that desires. When that voice subsides, even for an instant, the code becomes perceptible. It is a gentle, unwavering guidepost, pointing not to a destination, but to the truth of this very moment. Think of the divine code not as a rigid set of instructions, but as a subtle current in a vast river. The river is life itself. The thinking mind wants to build a dam to control the flow, to chart a course on a map of its own making. It thrashes against the current, creating turbulence and suffering. The divine code is the feeling of the water itself. It invites you to stop struggling and simply float, allowing the current of life to carry you. It is a surrender, not of your power, but of your resistance. The path is not found by fighting the river, but by becoming one with its movement, trusting the intelligence that flows through all things. This exploration, then, is a journey inward. So, what is this divine code? It is the quiet intelligence of the universe expressing itself within you. It is not a code written in numbers or letters, but one written in the language of presence and awareness. It is the silent knowing that arises when the conditioned mind, with its endless stories and labels, steps aside. You feel it in your body, a sense of spaciousness and calm. It is a whisper that asks a simple question, not with words, but with feeling. Is this true? Is this aligned with the deep stillness of your being? It is the part of you that is not a person, the part that is one with all life. The divine code is fundamentally connected to love. It is the love that is the very fabric of existence, an impersonal yet deeply intimate recognition of the sacredness in all things. It is the love that sees itself in another. When you act from this space, your actions carry a different quality. They are not done to get something in return, not even approval or self-satisfaction. This code also manifests as a series of signs, but not in the way the mind might expect. The mind looks for dramatic omens, a shooting star, a specific number appearing repeatedly. The signs of the divine code are far more subtle, more intimate. They are small shifts in your state of consciousness. They are the moments when a gap appears in the stream of thought, allowing a deeper awareness to shine through. These signs are not messages from an external entity. They are you, waking up to yourself. They are easy to miss because the mind is conditioned to seek the big, the loud, and the dramatic. It dismisses the quiet, the simple, and the ordinary. Yet, it is precisely in the ordinary that the extraordinary is found. A nudge to pause before speaking, a sudden feeling of gratitude for the air you breathe, a moment of deep peace while washing dishes. These are the portals. The divine code does not shout for your attention. It waits patiently for you to become still enough to notice its constant, gentle presence. It is a guide, not to a better future, but to a deeper present. The first sign of the divine code is a feeling of quiet joy. This is not the exhilaration of achieving a goal or the excitement of a new possession. That kind of happiness is dependent on external conditions and is therefore fleeting. Quiet joy arises from within for no apparent reason. You might be walking through a park, feeling the breeze on your skin, and suddenly a wave of profound well-being washes over you. There is no story attached to it. No, I am happy because It is simply a state of being. This uncaused joy is a sign that you have momentarily dropped your resistance to what is. You are aligned with the present moment, and in that alignment, you feel the joy of life itself. It is the divine code affirming its presence. The second sign is the emergence of a simple, undeniable truth. You may be facing a complex decision, lost in a storm of anxious thought. Then, in a moment of stillness, the answer becomes clear. It does not arrive as a logical conclusion. It feels more like a recognition of something you already knew. The choice feels calm, light, and right. It is not a loud, triumphant declaration, but a quiet, peaceful certainty. It asks for honesty, not for what is easy or convenient. When you feel this deep, inner knowing, a sense of peace that settles the storm of the mind, you are being guided by the divine code. The third sign is a gentle pull to help, to give, to serve. This is not the ego's desire to be seen as a good person or to create an obligation in another. That is a form of spiritual materialism. This pull is an impersonal and spontaneous impulse. You see someone in need, and the action to help arises without a moment of thought or calculation. You offer a kind word, a listening ear, or a simple act of support, not for praise or reward, but because it feels like the most natural thing to do. This urge is a nudge from the code. It is life acting through you to express its inherent quality of care and interconnectedness. You are not doing kindness. You are a vessel through which kindness flows. So, how does one learn to read this subtle code? You do not need to decipher complex symbols or learn esoteric doctrines. The process is one of subtraction, not addition. It is about letting go of what obscures the code, the incessant noise of the thinking mind. The language of the divine code is stillness. You learn it by practicing presence. This is not a difficult task. It's a simple shift of attention. Here are 3 practical ways to cultivate the stillness where the code can be perceived. They are not techniques to get you somewhere else. They are anchors to bring you fully here, now. First, slow your breath. Feel the life within your body. Take a moment now. Close your eyes if it helps. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your abdomen. Feel the air moving in and out. Then expand your awareness to the subtle field of energy in your inner body. Feel the aliveness in your hands. Feel the aliveness in your feet. Feel the aliveness in your chest. Do not think about it. Simply feel it directly. Anchoring attention in the inner body draws consciousness away from compulsive thinking. The mental noise subsides, and the quiet guidance of the code becomes more accessible. Second, practice noticing small, simple joys. Your mind is conditioned to overlook the ordinary. It chases the next big thing, a future that never arrives. Make a conscious practice of noticing what is here now. The warmth of a cup in your hands, the sound of rain against the window, the intricate pattern on a leaf. Give full attention to these sensory experiences. You're not just seeing a leaf. You connect with the life within it. Appreciative attention starves the ego's drama and nourishes presence. Each small joy is a doorway into the stillness where the code resides. Third, when faced with a choice or difficulty, ask a calm internal question. Instead of, "What should I do?" which engages anxious, calculating mind, simply hold the situation in awareness. Ask, "What is the true and loving response here?" Don't look for an immediate thought-based answer. Watch your inner state. Notice the feeling in your body. An ego-based response feels contracted, heavy, tense. A response aligned with the divine code feels spacious, light, peaceful, even if action is difficult. This isn't about getting an answer. It's about aligning with a state of being. Let us observe how this code manifests in the fabric of everyday life. Imagine a woman who wakes up earlier than usual. The house is silent. The sky outside the window is a soft, pre-dawn gray. Instead of immediately reaching for her phone to check the news, to check her messages, she simply lies there, listening to the silence. In that silence, she hears a single bird begin to sing. She gives her full attention to the sound, and a feeling of profound peace envelops her. In that state of presence, an impulse arises to call an old friend she hasn't spoken to in years. The call is not planned, it flows from the stillness. That simple conversation dissolves a misunderstanding that had lingered for a long time. The divine code was felt in the silence and expressed through the bird's song. Consider a young man who has been offered 2 jobs. The first promises more money and status, but it involves work that feels misaligned with his inner values, requiring a certain level of dishonesty. The second job offers less pay, but involves work he finds meaningful and honest. His mind, conditioned by society, screams at him to take the first job. It creates stories of future security and success. Yet, whenever he thinks about it, he feels a subtle contraction in his chest, a sense of unease. When he considers the second job, despite the financial uncertainty, he feels a sense of expansion, of lightness. He chooses the second job, not through logic, but by listening to the language of his inner state. The divine code guided him through feeling, not thought. Watch a small child at a park. An older person stumbles and drops their groceries. The child does not hesitate. There is no thought of, should I help? Or, what will I get for this? The child simply runs over and begins picking up an orange that has rolled away. The action is instantaneous, spontaneous, and free of self-interest. The child has not yet developed a strong egoic identity that filters every action through the lens of me and my story. For that brief moment, the child is a pure conduit for life's impulse to help and to restore balance. This is the divine code in its most unadorned form, simple, direct, and arising from a state of oneness. These examples are not extraordinary, they are deeply ordinary. They happen all the time, but they go unnoticed because our attention is elsewhere, lost in the past, anxious about the future, or trapped in the narrative of the personal self. The code is not a rare phenomenon for spiritual masters. It is the undercurrent of your own life, waiting to be noticed in the most mundane of moments. The invitation is always there, to step out of the story in your head and into the reality of the now. The more you accept this invitation, the more your life becomes an expression of this deeper intelligence. Why does recognizing this divine code matter? It matters because it is the path out of suffering. Suffering is not caused by events but by your mind's resistance to them. The ego thrives on conflict, drama, problems. It defines itself through opposition to what is. Following the divine code means surrendering resistance. Radical acceptance of the present, exactly as it is. This isn't passivity nor inability to act. Your action arises from peace, clarity, not from reactive anger or fear. Living aligned with inner guidance brings lightness. The heavy burden of the psychological self, grievances, anxieties, need to be right, begins to dissolve. You stop carrying the weight of the past and the future. You meet each moment with openness, curiosity. Fear may still arise, but you no longer identify with it. You see it as a passing cloud in the vast sky of awareness. True freedom, not from life's challenges, but from the mind's compulsive reaction to them. This is not a rulebook or new belief system. Beliefs are mental layers that separate you from direct experience. The divine code is a practice of being. It asks only for your awareness, your presence. It invites you to be honest with yourself, to be kind, one with the life you see in others, and to listen to the stillness beneath your thoughts. The more you practice listening, the less you are governed by the conditioned, fearful ego. The more your life reflects the deeper intelligence guiding the cosmos. When many live from presence, collective consciousness shifts. Big changes don't come from political ideologies or grand plans for the future. Those are products of the same thinking mind that made the problems. True change comes from a shift in consciousness, from the inside out. It comes from millions of small acts of presence, kindness, truth. Each awakened person contributes to the awakening of the whole. The gift of this practice is not a future enlightenment. The payoff is immediate. In the very moment you choose to become present, you receive the gift of peace. In the instant you choose to listen to the stillness rather than the noise, you receive the gift of clarity. When you act from this place of presence, you receive the gift of gentle courage. The divine code does not promise to give you all the answers for the rest of your life. It does not offer a map of the entire journey. It does something far more valuable. It illuminates the next step, the only step you can ever take, which is the one you are taking right now. Imagine you are in a vast, dark room. You have been given a small oil lamp. The lamp cannot light the whole room. Its soft glow lights a small circle around your feet. It shows you where to place your next footstep safely. This is the function of the divine code. It gives you just enough light for the step you need to take now. As you take that step, the circle of light moves with you. You traverse the room by trusting the light for each step. What can you do today, in this very moment? The invitation is simple. Try one step right now. Stop reading for a moment. Close your eyes. Take 3 slow, conscious breaths. Feel the air enter your body. Feel it leave. For these 3 breaths, be the space for the breath. After the 3rd exhale, notice one small simple thing. A sound, a sensation, a feeling of aliveness in your hands. Do not label it or judge it. Simply notice it. This is the practice. This is how you begin to listen. So the final invitation is this. Stop seeking. Stop searching for a secret code in the external world. The code is not out there. The kingdom of heaven is within you. It is in the stillness beneath your thoughts. It is in the aliveness of your inner body. It is in the simple, unadorned presence of this moment. Cease the struggle of the mind. Be still and listen. Take one slow breath. Notice the quiet light of awareness that is always here. That is the first step, and it is the only step. Follow it. Let us listen for it together.